Unable to keep up with the who, the when, the why, and the how? Well, fear not. You might be a little late, but this is last week's news now. What's up, guys? How you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Glad you stopped by. And if you're new, hey, how you doing? Glad you're here. Stick around a while. But do me a couple favors first. Go down and hit that subscribe button. Then go next door and ring that bell. Make sure it says all so you know when the next video pops up. Hit that like button. And before you head out, drop a comment down below. And if you're one of the regulars here, welcome back for another round. Also, you guys, hit that like button. And before you leave, drop a comment as well. YouTube does love the comments. And of course, share the video out on all the socials. Okay, merch store still going. We got about 12 days left until this campaign ends. Get yourself some Joker Voice merch and help contribute to a good cause, that being the Stuttering Foundation. Also check out the playlists, and of course check out those featured channels. Oh boy, wow! I had a few stories ready to go, but then that Disney quarterly earnings call came in, and I had to redo this whole thing because oh my gosh, so much information came out, and I'm gonna go briefly over some of the big stuff, and there's one non-Disney story in this. So strap in, folks. Here we go. Okay, the only non-Disney story here. Hogwarts Legacy. That's right, the smash hit game, despite a very vocal group out there trying to get this game canceled because they don't like what J.K. Rowling said. Well, let's just see how things are doing here. We're going to go to Forbes on this one, and again, all links are going to be down in the description. Check it out for yourself. But we're going to go with Forbes right here, and this was on the 9th. Says, Hogwarts Legacy early access began this past Tuesday, where owners of the more expensive deluxe or collector's edition got 3 extra days of play before official release this Friday. Despite that, the numbers the game is already putting up are huge. Huge. Hogwarts Legacy, by last count, had 489,139 players on Steam, each day peaking higher than the previous one. Yesterday, that was enough to pass Fallout 4, which had 472,962 players on Steam. That means Hogwarts Legacy is now behind only one other paid single-player game in Steam history for concurrent players, that being Cyberpunk 2077, which peaked at 1,054,388 players at launch with no early access period. Elden Ring, which does have a multiplayer component, peaked at 953,426 about a year ago. Wow. How's that cancellation campaign working for you guys? The more you guys talk, you're just driving sales up. Might just want to stop. Okay, now for the Disney stuff. Again, this next article comes from Forbes. Disney lost 2.4 million subscribers worldwide. Sounds like a big number. We're going to put this into some context here. While despite meager gains in the U.S. and Canada, about 200,000, Disney Plus worldwide lost 2.4 million subscribers overall. Okay, that sounds like a lot, except when you find out that most of these subscribers are from the country of India, which doesn't give a great return. You get about less than a quarter per dollar, so not a huge amount. And the reason of the subscriber loss is Disney Plus lost Disney Plus Hotstar, which is the equivalent of Disney Plus in the Eastern Asia area. They lost the rights to stream the Indian Premier League, which is a very popular network for cricket. Okay. But the big numbers here. Fiscal quarter number 4, Disney lost $1.5 billion. That's right, billion. First fiscal quarter of 2023, it lost $1.1 billion. Moving in the right direction, sure. Do I really think that Bob Iger's plan for this being profitable by 2024? I don't think so. But who knows? Just throwing it out there that Disney Plus is still a black hole. And this happens when you, as Iger wanted to put big budget feature film budgets for TV shows. With stagnant and meager growth, you're not making enough money to recoup all what you've spent. Bad business model that was put under by Iger. Okay, next, out of Variety, we have layoffs and cutting costs. That's right. It seems that the rumored hiring freeze and layoffs are actually a reality, as was going to be implemented by former CEO Bob Chapek, as about 7,000 layoffs are going forward. And this is not just day cast members at the parks. Oh, no. These are office jobs. These are executives, maybe not the C-suites, but significant payrolls are being shed. Also, along with cost cutting, there will be major cost cutting for all non-sports content. So ESPN is kind of excluded from this. ESPN is a huge revenue stream for Disney, but we're talking Lucasfilm, Marvel, Pixar, and Disney Studios, and this cost cut is going to be about $3 billion. Now, whether that's $3 billion per studio, I don't know, or is that $3 billion going to be divided up amongst the four studios? That's about $750 million per studio. Again, don't know. But just for the record, these were policies that were going to be put in place by Chapek that Iger's taking credit for. Stolen virtue much? I'm just saying. Okay. Also, deadline. Hulu may be on the chopping block, as Disney is faced with a decision regarding its majority share of Hulu. Disney owns about 2/3 of it, with Comcast only owning the other third. Now, Disney has to make a decision by 2024 whether to sell off their share of it, or buy Comcast's remaining share, which is about a little north of $25 billion. Iger says that as all options are on the table. With the cost cutting and everything else, are all options on the table? Really? I don't know about that. And finally, not to rub any more salt in the wounds of Disney, this comes from the YouTube channel Legal Mindset. Because a few hours prior to the Disney earnings call, as if it was planned that way, no, that would never happen, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis and the state legislature began to put into place the apparatus that would dissolve the Reedy Creek Improvement District, also known as Disney's sweetheart deal in the late 60s to build a theme park in Florida, which basically gave them a tax-free, self-governing city within the state of Florida. Well, Disney, that's gone. It's gone. They're subject to taxes imposed by the state. They now have to play by all the same rules that the other theme parks do, aka like SeaWorld, Universal, and they can no longer govern themselves. They are going to be overseen by a state-approved board, and which also means they now have to pay back $700 million in unsecured debt to be paid by Disney, not the Florida taxpayers. I'm just saying, maybe you shouldn't have stuck your nose into state politics. You should have just minded your own business and done what Bob Chapek wanted to do, going politically neutral. Just saying. So that's the news. And if I'm going to give my final thoughts, overspending, mediocre at best content, fan baiting, getting involved in state politics when they obviously shouldn't. Is it any surprise why Disney is in the state it's in right now? I don't think so. But these are just my thoughts. Now I'm going to turn it back over to you. Let me know what you think down below of all this news and the crazy House of the Mouse stuff. Let me know what you think down below in the comments. And again, check me out tonight. I will be over on Legion Talk. We're going Game of Thrones Season 2, Episode 4. We may be having a special guest tonight, so definitely tune in to see. But again, thanks for stopping by. And of course, hit that subscribe button, ring that bell. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like the video, hey, thanks for sticking around this long. And I will see you Wednesday for something else very interesting. I had to change this too. Some stuff just keeps coming up about the possible reasoning for the DC slate put forth by James Gunn. There's a little more behind the scenes that may be happening. So stay tuned for that. And until then, guys, have a great week. Always have fun. Hashtag keep talking. And always keep that smile on your face. Toodles!